Hey everyone, welcome back to another Friday weekly chat. This week I'm going to be discussing why everyone, and I mean everyone, should place credit freezes on all three of the credit bureau agencies. Let's do it. So yeah, everyone should do this. And what is it? Why should it be done? I actually wrote a blog post about this maybe, I guess about a year and a half ago. I don't do so many blog posts anymore because we kind of switched, the medium into video, so you can see my lovely face. But so what I've done was I've jotted down some notes because I'm too old to remember everything and too close to use a teleprompter. So got some notes here on some of the most common questions that I get from folks like yourself and clients about what a credit freeze is, why is it important to do, how does it work, is it a pain in the neck, things of that sort. So first thing that I want to talk about, one of the most common questions that I get is, what is a credit freeze? Well, what a credit freeze is all three agencies allow you, they have a dedicated place on their website to go, or you could actually call, there's an 800 number. I'm going to have all of these links listed in the email, listed below the video, and also I'm going to link to the blog post where we have the website address for, like, let's say Experian, which is the main website address, the website address to take you directly to freeze
You're being put into carbon freeze.
and unfreeze them. And if you want to do it old school and just call up and do that over the phone, you can. What it is you essentially go to all three bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, and you place a freeze on it. And what it does is it does not allow anyone to run credit reports, or it does not allow anyone to access your credit. So if you are, why is that important? Well, as it sounds, people will not be able to hack
They can hack through anything.
into your stuff, run credit reports that you did not want them to run. So it's a real easy way to kind of protect yourself. And how does it work? Well, it works just essentially that way. Is you go online, you go to the website, you'll set up a username and password and a really long PIN. Do not lose the PIN. I repeat, do not lose the PIN. If you lose the PIN, it's a pain in the neck. You need the PIN to be able to access it, to unfreeze and freeze it. So that's really how it works. You go to the website, set up a username, set up a password, get a PIN, and get that going. Or, like I said, you can go old school and call them up via telephone, and they'll be able to get that all going for you. Another really popular question that I get is, will it hurt your credit score? No, that's a great thing. It does not hurt your credit score in any way. There is no negative from a credit reporting action to do so. The other question I get a lot of times is, Joe, how do I unfreeze it? Well, you unfreeze it the same way that you would freeze it, which essentially you go to the website, enter username and password, put your PIN in, and then there's options to freeze or unfreeze. You can go in there and unfreeze it, and you can say, I want to unfreeze it permanently, which I don't recommend. I want to unfreeze it for a certain amount of time. So if you know that you're going to be, let's say you're purchasing a car, and you know that you're going to be getting, they're going to have to pull credit and stuff like that, you can unfreeze it for the next day. Incidentally, what I also want to bring up too is you have to do this for yourself, your spouse, your partner, your significant other. So, like in my instance, I have credit freezes. So I have credit freezes for all three agencies for myself and all three agencies for my wife. So I have a spreadsheet of username, password, and PIN for myself and for my wife, Michelle. Some of the advantages of freezing your credit are it prevents new accounts from being opened in your name without your knowledge or permission. The credit freezes are free. It doesn't cost anything. Like we mentioned before, it won't hurt your credit score, provides a peace of mind, and potentially stops you from impulse purchases, because if you're at a store and want to open up a store credit card because they have a thing, you'll have to physically go and unfreeze the credit to do it. Some of the disadvantages of freezing your credit: it's a pain in the neck, because every single time you go to get credit, you want to purchase a new car, you want a new credit card, you want to look at a home equity line of credit, you need to unfreeze it. You need to figure out what crediting agency, what crediting bureau that they're going to be running the report on. Typically most places use only one. So they'll have one of the three that they use. So there's no need to do all three, but if you do one, And if they're running it for your spouse or partner, then you would have to do it for both of you. So it's a pain in the butt. You may experience credit delays because, typically the unfreeze is instantaneous. I found there's a second you unfreeze it, then your credit's unfrozen and it's able to be run. But if you call up over the 800 number, that may take a little bit longer, but you can run into delays. If you're in a car dealership and your credit is not frozen, if your credit is frozen, then you'll have to unfreeze it for them to run a report. Although that may be an advantage because you have some negotiating tactics there. But, and according to a Forbes article, it's not 100% guaranteed to be effective, but it is kind of the best way to guarantee it. So again, in my opinion, everyone should do this. Everyone should freeze their credit. There's no reason not to. There's really no downside to it other than it being a big pain in the neck. But typically we're not applying for, new credit or having our credit run all that often. It could be a couple of times a year. And if you're going car shopping and you want to unfreeze all three of them that day and then come home and freeze them, then that's the way to do it. All right, well, that's a wrap on another Weekly Friday Chat. Like I said, there'll be links to the blog post, to all three websites. You'll have phone numbers. All the information will be here in the weekly email that you get from me at the bottom of this video in YouTube. And then all the links will be to the blog post where we go more in depth on this and some other little cool tricks and tools that we have. So remember, Fridays are for pizza. See ya.